Very good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Sports Tonight. This is the first edition of Sports Tonight for the week. It's a Monday night, and we're happy to be here. It's been a wonderful day so far. I'm sure it's going to remain a wonderful day, not just for today, but all days will be wonderful for all of us, for those of you watching, and of course for those of us who are on this side. But I'd like to say a very big thank you to you for joining us on Sports Tonight this Monday. And promise you that if you stay with us for the next 15 minutes, we will do all that we can. We will do our best to making sure that you enjoy every bit of what we have on offer for you this Monday. We will, of course, be reviewing what happened over the weekend, and we will also be spending time to preview what we expect will be happening during the week. Because for those of you who are followers of football, it starts from UEFA Champions League matches tomorrow and Wednesday. And then on Friday, we will be talking about the Super Eagles majorly from the domestic league playing an international friendly against Ghana. But let me tell you, Nigeria-Ghana, do we really have friendlies? Nigeria-Ghana, every game, Nigeria-Ghana is like a World Cup final. So we're looking forward to plenty as well as we go along on Sports Tonight this Monday. But let me start off the show by quickly introducing to you those that will be with me for most part of Sports Tonight this Monday. From my immediate right, Toby Adepoju is going to be on the show, and of course Onye Wuchimachuku is also going to be with us on the show as well for most part of the show. Guys, good to have you on Sports Tonight. Welcome back once again. I'm sure you're adjusting. The last time we spoke to you on this show, you said you were trying to adjust. You're looking like you're adjusting already.
Yeah. I said a freshman.
Yeah. It's still looking fresh.
Yeah, it's still looking
fresh. It's going to take a long time before it loses the freshness. I'll keep it.
Yeah.
You try to keep it. Yeah. But good to have you guys on Sports Tonight.
Thank you very much, Tony.
Toby, a lot to talk about. Particularly the domestic league. It's all over now. We know who the champions are. And it was a very historic weekend because we had 3 hat-tricks. 3 hat-tricks. Really? Amazing.
Amazing.
I mean, this plenty of goals.
Yeah, great weekends. 30 goals being scored. 3 hat-tricks, and if I remember, broke that Jordan record, scored an equalizer against Dolphin FC, and plenty of goals. Same scoring.
Same as Ugida.
They scored 4 goals. I was coming to play, and Pillars, I also set a new record. I think winning the league title 3 times on back to back. Wow. I think they have done that also. I think in 2001, 2003, and when it was Premier League, I think when it was in the Nigerian Premier League in those days, Atlant also won I think 4 times when they bounced. But achieved this during the professional league since 1992, and Pillars have recorded that. In the Premier League, Pillars have recorded that. Good one for them. Modi as a coach. I think this is massive.
We'll talk extensively about that later on. But just to whet your appetite a little bit about what we'll be talking about on the program tonight. It is sorted at the top. Well, not sorted completely, sorted partially at the top because we know who the champions are. It's Kano Pillars. But then there is still a second CAF Champions League ticket at stake, and there is also the CAF Confederation Cup ticket at stake. And it's very dicey, very tricky because Enyimba are also in the Federation Cup final. So if Enyimba can finish in second place, whichever team they play in the final of the Federation Cup, automatically
the finalists are confirmed.
I mean, automatically wins the continental ticket. Yes. So it's really an exciting end to the season. We'll talk about it as well. But then one thing is not certain yet. We already know 3 teams that are going down. Which team will be the 4th that will be going down at the end of the season? 4 clubs are going to be in the race to avoid the drop. We'll talk about that as well on Sports Tonight this Monday. We will also talk about the Nigeria National League. It's also exciting in the Nigeria National League. It's going to go right down to the final day. These guys are here. They will talk to us all about it, the drama at the different leagues, and I mean some unimaginable occurrences as well. That's if you stay with us, you'll catch it up on Sports Tonight. Of course, we'll talk about Champions League games tomorrow and Wednesday. And we have a guest. We have 2 very special guests in the house as well. Do I talk about them now? No, let me wait a little bit and keep the suspense until they come on set. And they'll be talking to us about players' welfare, how to treat our former players, and what can we do to make life better for footballers when they stop playing. You'll find out who my guests are later on Sports Tonight. But gentlemen, how do we start off the show? Let's start from the continental level. let's start with the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations, Morocco 2015. Everybody's looking forward to Morocco. But the question is, will Morocco eventually get to host the Africa Cup of Nations, to be or not to be? And that's what happened today after the CAF Executive Committee met with officials of the Moroccan government, and they said, look, we cannot move the Nations Cup from the date January 17 to February 8. We cannot move it. Only, what is the other alternative?
Well, like you said, CAF has given the Moroccan officials up till a week to decide to host, with the same arrangement, like from January to February. And if they cannot, if they decide not to host, obviously it's going to be taken away from them. I think CAF has found itself in a very difficult situation. The Ebola issue has posed a lot of challenges for them. Recall that I think about a month or 2 months ago, they had to move some of the venues of Guinea, Sierra Leone games to a neutral venue. So these are really challenging times. I don't envy them. South Africa, when we were in Namibia, South Africa, we were contacted and they said no. Maybe Ghana or another country can come in to rescue them. But as it is now, I think the Moroccans are, hell-bent on, hosting it at a different date.
Well, what you are seeing on your screen are pictures of members of the Executive Committee of the Confederation of African Football, CAF, meeting with officials of Morocco, the government of Morocco, and trying to iron this issue out. The argument from CAF is that out of the countries where Ebola is prevalent, only one has the possibility of qualifying for the Nations Cup, and that's Guinea. And they are saying that CAF, while qualifiers were going on, have told national associations to put in place very stringent medical conditions to screen players right from the airport to prevent this virus or this disease from spreading, and that countries where Ebola was prevalent, games have been stopped there, no activity there, and that they believe that they'll be able to cope the virus when the Nations Cup gets underway.
Really, I think I've got a very good argument in that one. Just one country from possible 16 teams, and I think so. I think that's a very good argument. And CAF have also, tried to make sure they prevent this. Try to move games from that, safe country, and screening of players and visitors that will come in during the AFCON. See, a lot of logistics have been put in place for the Nations Cup next year. The calendar of CAF have been put in place in next year. It's going to be difficult for CAF to amend this, and also sponsorship. So the sponsors, those putting their money on the tournament next January, they're expecting to see their product all over all over the screen in January, and you want to tell them to shift the tournament forward. I think a lot of things CAF is really putting into consideration. The sponsorship, the logistics being put in place. You can just shift it, and like I said earlier, they've got a very good argument. One team out of the possible 16, and CAF have really done well to prevent this Ebola virus from spreading out to players in football. Try to shift games of most of this country to a neutral ground, and giving the Moroccans chance to screen players and visitors that will come in. I think Moroccans should just try and consider this. There will be a FIFA World Cup in December. Spain have also got the Ebola issue, and a Spain club will partake of that tournament, which they will be sure to make sure the screening players of this Madrid team coming in, and also officials of this team. I think they should try and consider CAF also. They should think in that way. Let the tournament go up next year, and all you just need to do is a proper screening at the airport, all over the state, and we just have a very good tournament and a free tournament.
Let me come to you, because one of the things that CAF said, Oye is a direct participant in some of the things that CAF said. CAF said for the African Women Championship, there was very strict adherence to testing and screening of visitors, journalists coming into Namibia for the African Women Championship, just to ensure that nobody is coming in with anything that could affect the tournament. You were in Namibia. Can you tell us about what you went through? I mean, going into Namibia, the screening process that CAF put in place, they said it's very strict, and that they are sure that it will be up to scratch in preventing anybody that has any trace of Ebola virus getting into Morocco.
So the truth is that immediately you disembark from the aircraft in Windhoek, they don't even, and there's a form. You are not even allowed to go into the airport. There's a form. Immediately you take any country from West Africa, you are immediately quarantined. They take you to another separate place where you'll be screened, you'll fill form, you'll be there for 1 or 2 hours. So you can understand that they want to safeguard their citizens. And I think CAF did very well. Everything went on well.